Billiken fans, welcome back. It is Zach Miller and Peter Hale. It is the Midtown Madness Podcast. Before we get going, thank you so much for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you're commenting. We've got a ton of good stuff to talk about. We've got some controversial stuff to talk about within the sports landscape. And frankly, I'm excited to talk about it. But first, I need to get our opening segment out, which is Chris May. Come on the podcast at your convenience. We'd love to talk to you. We'll set up an interview. Just want to talk about Billiken athletics in the future. A huge thank you to everyone who supported us by supporting Two Men in a Garden these past few years. I feel like we're nearing the middle of the season, and I should really change up this ad read. But Two Men in a Garden, once again, is keeping the lights on at the Midtown Madness Podcast for the 25-26 season. We're almost to the halfway point. They've been an unbelievable partner for the last few years, just really supportive, letting us say whatever the hell we want on the podcast and not being like, wait a minute. They are the St. Louis Salsa and Pickle Company, not Salsa Pickles. Can you imagine? Bringing you everything from mild to screaming hot, including hot mango and sugar-free salsas. They have pickles from classic dill to smoky barbecue. Visit them online at twomeninthegarden.com to shop your favorite flavors and learn more about their Kitchen Hub STL. Follow them on social media at Two Men Salsa on Instagram and Twitter for the latest updates. Pete, we have a ton of stuff to get to. But first, I do want to give a shout out. If you are watching this on YouTube, you notice something different about our show. We have a brand new overlay, or what would you call it? Graphics package?
I think that works, Zach. Yeah, I think you're right.
We have a brand new graphics package kindly provided to us by some of you may know his brother, Cameron Neisler. Was gracious enough to work with us to update the look of this show and really give it more of a crisp, clean look. As we hope Billiken basketball elevates its product, we are elevating as well. So super excited to show that off in this episode. And again, thank you to Cameron Neisler for helping us out. Pete, let's tease the people here. We've got some good. We've got some bad. We might have some what are we doing here? But first off, the good, the great Peter. The great Peter. The great Peter.
The Billikens, Zach, are elite. They are elite. Men's soccer is elite. We all knew it, but they're back, baby.
Let's go. The bad. Men's basketball lost their perfect non-conference record in maybe the most painful way possible. And I think that might lead into a what are we doing here? And that's what are we doing following up 3? Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. I think we need to have the conversation. I haven't looked at your take on this yet, so it'll be very, very interesting to get down the rabbit hole with you on it.
Yes, it will.
So, yes, of course, when we get into that, make sure you're commenting down below. Give your take. I'll try to remind you when we get to it, but give us your take on following up 3. But first, it's the NCAA tournament. It is the most storied program in Billiken history. It is men's soccer. And I think the next time there is a capital project for men's soccer, I really think there needs to be some sort of display for Goalkeeper University. Abonnel, Tofern, Schulte, Percelli. I mean, I got nothing. This incredible.
If they get more top flight keepers like this in the pipeline, coming off like a Schulte and an Abonnel in pretty short succession, especially those two, I just like. Yeah, Zach. I mean, what Abonnel is doing in this tournament is spectacular. He's just been an absolute phenom. When Kalish has recently said he thinks he's the best keeper in the country, and I find that really
with a what do you say? With a high degree of certainty.
With a high degree of certainty, I have a hard time arguing with him on that one. I mean, he's just been incredible. Yeah.
The Billikens, the St. Louis University Billiken soccer team is back in the Elite Eight, and it's pretty crazy. We have to set the stage here because this is a team that limped into the A10 tournament on the back of 2 consecutive draws against Rhode Island and Loyola, a team that barely escaped an A10 finals loss against Dayton, a team that very briefly appeared to go down 2-0 in the first round of the NCAA tournament, now finds themselves with another date at Akron. This team has been elite defensively all year, except for against Akron.
That's pretty much the case, Zach. I mean, when you run down their schedule, this is a team that either shuts out or holds everybody to 1 goal. And Akron is a pretty obvious exception to that one. But this is they just do not concede much at all. They beat Fordham 3-2, so you don't get too bent out of shape about the 2 there. But yeah, to get more than 2 in against this team is really something. So a little nervous about the rematch here.
I told myself I was going to be okay with whatever happened in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I expected the Billikens to win. I tried to prepare myself for the level of butt puckering that was potentially necessary. It was the level of breath holding that I experienced Game 7 of the Stanley Cup of was it the Western Conference? I don't know, against Dallas when Maroon scored in double overtime. I was there.
Okay.
It was the same level of breath holding throughout this match, and it was this was an experience, Pete.
Yeah.
We went through it. We all went through it together.
We went through it. There's a lot in like this game. I felt like it was pretty dramatic, and obviously the drama got increasingly heated up over the course of the game. But the field conditions weren't ideal in Smithfield, Rhode Island, on the campus of Bryant University. You had steady rain the whole game. It didn't seem like it let up once, did it? The announcer said the temperature was 46 degrees, and then they play on turf, right? So this game was extra. When it's cold, it's wet, it's extra slick when they're out there too. And you could really see that throughout this game, which just gave it kind of a heightened sense of like nervous energy, right? Like you could see those guys as a ball is like skipping out of bounds and they want to save it, they're kind of pulling back a little bit, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to slip.
I think there was a lot of problem with the speed of the ball. I thought that turf at Bryant, watching their previous game,
yeah,
I thought the turf was relatively slow as far as turf goes.
Sure.
So I wasn't super concerned. And then the rain started,
yes.
and it was a lot of that disconnect we saw against Kentucky and Dayton that really came through and really led to a couple of those chances from Bryant. But it was actually the Billikens who got on the board first. The conditions, like we mentioned, weren't ideal in Rhode Island. I would say steady rain is being very generous. That was a deluge of rain. That made me incredibly nervous as the game went along. 46 degrees. So, right in that beautiful fall soccer weather range. So no issue there. But I think what surprised me here is that the Billikens got on the board early in this one in the 18th minute on a header from a beautiful corner kick from Jack DiMaria. It was Quentin Blair who had himself a career night. Just beautiful deflection off the head into the side netting. No chance for the keeper. Billikens up 1-0.
He got up for it. He put it at an angle where nobody could make a play on it. Put it in the far side of the net. Bryant's keeper knew it. That was that. It was really nicely geometried there, Zach.
Pete, I want to show the people the goal here. Obviously, Jack DiMaria taking the corner kick, and somehow Quentin Blair is just left all alone. Looks like there's that confusion there at the top of the box, Pete.
Yeah, there was. He got a little bit of space in there. I think all alone might be a little bit generous, but in swinging kick, he's at kind of the bottom of the R or the Y there.
Oh,
if you're
wow.
looking at the Bryant end zone. and then got up just high enough, left the keeper stunned, bounced it in the far corner. Really nothing to be done, but kind of a defensive breakdown.
This is an incredible play here. Josh Schertz would be proud. I hope you're watching on YouTube.
The screen.
Watch 2-3 here.
Yeah.
Watch 2-3. Watch this turn. 19 cuts. Oh, this is beautiful. What a play call. What a play call from Kevin Kalish in this one.
Yeah, nice setting the pick there. But yeah, great goal, great finish from Blair. Good ball from Di Maria. He's always crisp with his service. So really, really good play.
Pete, I always say that college soccer is a game of chaos at times, and no more was that kind of evident in this game, given that it was raining as hard as it was, the wind was blowing. And in the 22nd minute, Fermin Rodriguez was the beneficiary of some of that chaos off a corner kick.
Yeah, a little bit of slop in the box here. The kick swung in, his teammate headed it down in front of the net, and he was falling to his butt and just kind of got I think it was his left leg out, got just enough on the ball. Not pretty at all, but he managed to get a slow roller past Abonnel. It kind of happened in slow motion once he touched it. Kind of a ridiculous goal, nothing pretty about it. But you're right. I mean, sometimes there's a little chaos in the box, and you just got to capitalize on
it. Pete, talking about capitalizing there, I think the next goal by Bryant certainly fits that description. They capitalized on a quick strike in transition. It's what we really were concerned about leading into this game. 43rd minute, Muslim Umar. He just they lost him.
They did. Yeah, that kind of unfortunate defensive sequence here, but he kind of got loose in the attacking third. Abonnel, trying to make up for the defensive laps, charged all the way out. He didn't really have his footing. He even slipped a little bit on that wet turf. Umar stayed calm, beat him, put an extra touch on it, had a wide open net, but he was pretty far away, Zach, had a kind of a tough angle. So it wasn't exactly a slam dunk here, but he still did have enough time and space to score, to finish that. So, good poise from him. A little bit of a lapse. Like I think you said, there's the mistake, and that's when Slew gave up that second one.
Pete, what do you think the mistake was there? Because I have a bone to pick with some people online.
Meaning, are they blaming Abonnel, and you're thinking it's more of like the overall defensive breakdown?
Oh, it was the breakdown was that there was a pass to a guy who was covered when you were just tapping it around the back, and the opposition just had no interest of pressuring you. And they were only, I want to say it was Di Maria, but I'm not sure. I cannot be sure on that. But
yeah, we don't really have a replay of the lead up to that, right? I mean, it's you'll get the PK. You'll get the goal itself, but I don't think we have all the lead up. But anyway, yeah.
No, it was it's just, I thought, I will say this. I think Abonnel made a mistake coming out for it, regardless of what happened. I think his defender would have been able to close down Umar. I know Umar is unbelievably fast. He displayed it in this game, but I think Abonnel might have been okay staying at home in that case. But again, split second decisions, the rain's in your eye. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, and certainly second guessing that is what we do here. However, he more than made up for it, and we are going to get into it. But there was some serious drama all the way through. With just under 20 minutes left, Carlos Leatherman collides with a Bryant player at the edge of the Billiken box.
Well, hang on. You're skipping our goal, Zach.
Oh, son of a mother. I got excited.
So
I
it's
got
2-1 at
excited.
halftime because the
Yes,
goal we just described happened in the 43rd minute. So it was
my
right
fault.
before the close
I
of
got
half.
hand up, guys. This is why we're live to tape. This is why, so I
So
don't have to go back and edit it. Hey,
yeah, our
sometimes we
producers will
mess
take
up.
care of that.
Yes, they will. The ones we pay six figures.
So with in the 56th minute, Bryant's
Yes,
keeper misplayed a ball at kind of the outer edge
I
of the box.
I can't
Um,
believe he did that.
it just kind of
I
squirted by him.
no he wanted to, like, I in that position. It's the NCAA tournament. You are in a dead. You are up one. You just pick up the ball. He tried to extend the amount. He tried to save like 3 seconds.
Sure.
He tried to save 3 seconds,
Yeah.
maybe. And he turned to the side and let the ball roll by him. He lost focus for just a second. Again, we talk about the rain coming down. I mean, the guy's a sixth year. He played 3 years at Midwestern Nazarene, I think it is. And then he played one season at I don't know. It doesn't matter. Clemson or some shit. I don't know.
Mhm.
Southeastern Conference, or yeah, that area. Um, just an awful blunder. And what did you think when he went down in the call?
I mean, I thought like he knew immediately he messed up, right? Because Franco was pressing and he just kind of leaned into him, right? Like as Franco got by him to get the ball and and was trying to keep it off the end line, he just kind of started like leaning into him and pushing him, and you just can't do that, you know.
Well,
So
I mean that's the goalkeeper in him, right? So goalkeepers are not practicing how to close down a guy from the back. So
sure,
as soon as a goalkeeper is defending you from behind, you pull out all the stops. You pull out all the tricks out of your bag, and no one has more tricks in their bag on the Billikens than my man Carlos Leather.
well, it was Theo Franco,
Oh,
right?
sorry, Theo Franca. I'm sorry, Theo Franca.
Yeah.
I'm just a big Carlos Leatherman guy.
Well, he'll be involved in the next one, but yeah,
Let's talk about him already. God,
I think you gotta make that call, and they did, and they looked at it via VAR, and it held up, and then Quentin Blair went to the stripe,
did you
and
think they were gonna? Did you think they were gonna uphold it?
yeah, I did, I just think that's absolutely a foul. So
I was hoping, I was tweeting as if my tweets were going to get to the VAR tent. Well, I was like, this is what happened. Please listen to me. I'm sure you're getting the Twitter. He's just checking Twitter.
toggling between apps on his iPad there in the tent.
He's trying. Yeah, are they talking about me? He Googles his name.
So Blair gets his second of the game with the PK. But let's talk about Carlos Leatherman here, Zach.
Yeah, not the smartest. I will say this: there was a lot of physicality from the Billikens in it, and for the most part, it worked all night. But I thought there were two instances where SLU just put themselves in compromised positions where you're putting that in the hands of the official, and that is the last thing you want to do in a tied ball game.
That's right.
In the NCAA tournament away in Rhode Island, Crime Town, with a referee crew that missed three throw-in calls, not your way. And it's amazing,
Yeah,
because when it came to VAR, it benefited the Billikens.
yeah, all three times somehow. But I mean, to be fair, like it was the right call in all three occasions.
Yes,
You know,
100%.
it wasn't anything too ridiculous there, but yeah, I agree with you completely. And like my first instinct there was like getting mad at Leatherman, right? Because this isn't his first time.
How dare you? How dare you
gotten,
get rid of my baby boy Leatherman?
He's gotten straight reds earlier this season. He got he made a dumb foul in the A10 tournament last year that almost cost us a game. So like he has, as good as he is, and I mean he's been great. in this postseason, he does have a tendency to sometimes make those kind of decisions that can cost you a card or a PK or something like that. So it was a close one, Zach. And there was another foul in the box called and then VAR'd off with under
Again,
5 minutes in the game. This one, I mean, I thought this one was a clear flop, maybe a slip, arguably from the start, but there just wasn't the contact.
I again, it's two lines that they took to these
Yeah.
plays that you just didn't need to take.
Yeah. I agree with that. Like they didn't commit the foul here, but they put themselves in an unfortunate position.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we go to PKs after two scoreless overtimes. I am in the fetal position, but like upright fetal position, crying, sweating. It was traumatic.
Yeah, it was. Okay, so we've got two, it's golden goal now, right? So it's like it's extra dramatic.
What did you think of the way the Billikens played in extra time?
I thought it was mostly a continuation of the second half. I thought we were the better team. I don't know if I have a strong opinion about the approach here. Why?
Oh,
Okay.
we're having this is what we do on a podcast, Peter. We have conversation.
But you asked that question in a way that was like, because I have a take here, and so that's what I want.
I thought we were good. I thought we were really good.
I thought we were the better team, especially for the most of the second half and in extra time.
Look,
not dominant, but better.
The Billikens in this tournament, with the amount of preparation they do for PKs and how good their goalkeeper is, they have an unbelievable luxury they can go for it in extra time, but they don't have to be over aggressive worrying about whether or not or super and so I think they just have a Abonnel in PKs is such an incredible fallback that I liked the aggressive but not aggressive, kind of not really, pushing everybody after that goal, but really just kind of keeping the game going, not really changing anything. I thought that was the great call, and of course, I think Abonnel offers you that luxury. Abonnel, by the way, has. He's like Stan or he's like Randy Marsh rolling down with the wheelbarrow. That's him on campus this week. My God, what an absolute stud. Abonnel gets a yellow card, by the way, in the midst of this shootout. I think it was 2-2. It was right before he stopped the third. And he you see him in the background. You could watch. I love watching him. He's yucking it up with the students, Bryant, before the shootout. Like, I love that energy, smiling. It's exactly what you want from your goalkeeper, stepping up with the season on the line. And he tosses the Bryant's goalkeeper's water bottle over the backstop netting. He just yoinks it over the net. And then he's like, and the goalkeeper is looking for you. I don't know. And you could see like the official just go, all right, go to the pocket. Yep. You're going to the book. Just hilarious stuff.
This is the second time in as many shootouts that he's gotten a yellow card for his we'll call it shithousery, where he's
love that. That's
walking around the net as slowly as possible, adjusting all of his equipment. Like you said here, he was jawing at the Bryant fans were giving it to him, all night. They were stacked up behind the net. They had to actually move them for the PKs,
which is weird. I don't know why they made them do that.
They were there for the extra time, right? The golden goal periods. But for the PKs, they had to move them back. But so anyway, he's doing all of that, and it's the second shootout in a row that he gets a yellow card for his extracurricular. So I really do appreciate that. His mind games have worked twice now, so keep doing what you're doing.
I was trying to, they really did a disservice to everyone involved by not showing the Abonnel PK saves on Twitter. NCAA, not SLU. SLU did a great job. I'm not,
Yeah.
guys. By the way, Jordan Neisler, my man's out there wearing shorts.
I didn't notice that.
The guy does not wear long pants. He's a genetic freak when it comes to cold. I don't know how he does it. I am super jealous because I am not built for that shit. Anyway, let's get back to the game. I thought the goalies were really on top of it in this one. They were going the correct direction, getting their hand on the ball on multiple occasions.
Yeah, they mostly did guess right here. It was Abonnel who got the first actual save on that.
Ain't no guess. That's what's going to be.
Yeah, but even up through the final round, I mean, they guessed right more often than not. Correctly, I should say, guess correctly. So these were, their goalie had 9 shutouts this season. He wasn't quite at Abonnel's level, but his stats were really impressive all year. They're one of the better defensive teams in the country. And so it wasn't that as lopsided a matchup as you want, with Abonnel in your net. He was a good keeper, but yeah, I thought they were both pretty good. So SLU hits 2 more after that save. Bryant hits 1 more, and it's up to Bryant on their 5th attempt, Zach. At 4-3, they absolutely have to score on the 5th attempt. And
Pete, what happened was, I don't understand what's going ththrough this kick taker's mind. I want to get to it, right? We're going to watch it, but he goes for the Panenka, which is a chip. The footy nerds would call it that, right?
Right.
So the Billikens are up 4-3 at this. What is it? What's the score at this point?
It's 4-3. Yeah, because there's been 4 rounds, 4 full rounds, and Bryant has missed 1, so it's 4-3.
Right. So it's 4-3. So Abonnel does not have to save this one.
Right.
He still does not. He does not really have to. It would be great. He'd be an absolute hero if he saves it. However, he knows that the Billiken coming behind him, he trusts in that kick taker. So Abonnel doesn't have to guess here. He doesn't have to take a chance. He is in control of this attempt. And I don't know what this guy's thinking here.
Right, because given that Abonnel doesn't have to guess, this guy does have to make this one way or the other.
So here it is, courtesy of Billiken Athletics. I can't think of a more like doing way too much. You're doing way too much.
Yeah, he overthought that one, and he didn't really execute it well either. I mean, Abonnel would have had to dive all the way out. I mean, he just, it was so slow. It just, yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, I guess it was on goal, and if he did dive, he probably would have gone in. But man, oh man, are you overthinking it when that's your attempt?
I mean, this is disrespect. Oh, there's the double birds. You see the double birds in the white hoodie?
Oh no, I didn't. I was going to say, I hope it's not
so
Abonnel.
good.
We don't need another yellow card. We don't need another yellow.
By the way, watch for the guy in the white hoodie. By the way, Abonnel looks like Jesse from Pitch Perfect.
Okay. Oh yeah.
He gives him the double birds.
So he ran
the Rhode Island salute.
So he first goes over to one side, but then they remember
the
students have been moved to the other corner. So then they turn around and they all run over there. Like Abonnel realized after his pose, he's like, "Oh yeah,
yes,
the students are over there. Hey guys."
In white jacket. I respect that. I respect the double birds.
It's fine. It's fine. They're college kids.
Pete, what an unbelievable game. Unbelievable game. What an unbelievable way. I think it's written like this. How confident do you think the Billikens are right now taking any game to a penalty kick situation?
I mean, if you've got Abonnel in the net, that's an outcome you're not afraid of. It just isn't. Like, yeah, you want to play to win, but if that's a possibility against a seeded team or whatever, I think you take it.
I'm trying to remember the last missed penalty. I wonder if there was one against Kentucky or
Um,
Dayton.
it
No,
wasn't.
Kentucky didn't go to
Kentucky
because
was golden goal.
Dayton did.
Yeah, and the Slew did not miss in that one. It was five
No.
four.
Yeah. So I mean, I implicitly trust every single one of the kick takers for the Billikens to score.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I implicitly trust Jeremy, just Jeremy, one name. He is him, Jeremy, to save at least one.
Yeah.
Incredible game. How about if you're into age gap, this game had it.
Yeah, this was I guess Bryant is technically one of the oldest teams in the country. Like a ton
I
of
mean,
seniors and
they're
grad
older than
students.
some MLS teams.
A, a lot of a lot of teams now, like we're just getting to the end of like the COVID bonus years. They're managing to still have some of those guys stashed on their roster. Now, Abonnel is a fifth-year player, came from JUCO. They got that eligibility ruling in the offseason, which is why he was able to come back. But but that's more of the exception than the rule on our team. We've got a lot of young players on Slew's team, really spread out. But Bryant is a very, very experienced veteran team. They haven't all necessarily been at Bryant together the whole time,
Right.
but they definitely had an age advantage here.
They're also a team that didn't make the NCAA tournament last year, and I think they made it the year before. But before that, they were like 3-30 or something, like something ridiculous, terrible. Um, yeah, I mean, look, like I really liked our chances going into this game. I didn't see anything from Bryant that said we're going to impose our will and beat you. Um,
You mean
I
from the Seton
saw,
Hall game?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and I watched Vermont as well. I watched a little bit of the Vermont game, and I
Okay.
thought
Yeah.
Vermont just absolutely diced them up. It was the Vermont. I don't know how Vermont lost in the first round because they looked incredible against Bryant. They looked untouchable. Um, but it was really funny. Shout out to Ball Watching STL for bringing up or bringing the age gap to our attention.
Yeah.
Go check out their podcast. They've done some stuff they've talked about SLU soccer in the last few weeks, Johnny come latelys, they're joining the bandwagon. Hop on.
But even the announcers kind of hinted at that a few times about like how many grad students and seniors that they had playing.
Oh, you want to get me started about the announcers?
Not really. No, not really.
But why? Let's talk about the announcers because we don't have anything on Akron.
Yeah, that's true. We don't have much on Akron, that's for sure.
Oh, here it is. Here's the actual video of that. We retweeted. I don't know why I couldn't find it. Absolutely horrible of me. Yeah, I don't. I'm just trying to go through some of the stuff because we don't have anything for Akron. So, like the announcers, man, in this game.
Just to recap the stats here, Bryant outshot Sleuth 13-11, 7-6 on net. They had the advantage 6-3 on corners, and then fouls were 13-10. They had all three yellows in the match. Just to wrap that one up. Look, the announcers they were active. Betlock is a little bit quieter. He kind of like when you watch a European game or something like that, they let the game breathe a little bit. These guys really didn't. It was more like they were calling it for radio.
They were they were strangling the broadcast.
Yeah. So like, look, they were a little overzealous. I think they were very happy to be able to pronounce in the Spanish, even with the accents and everything. All of the players on their team, for example, they're rolling their R's and everything.
Oh my God.
They were
I love who's was it Lord Elrod on Billikens.com who said he said or somebody said they took high school Spanish. Maybe it was
yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think he may have minored in Spanish at Bryant. So
both of them, they were
they
They
were
were both
very.
rolling their R's.
But
It
yeah,
was
you know what this is. Look, this is the out of four D1 programs in Rhode Island.
That's
Bryant
crazy.
Bryant
That's
is
that
definitely
is
number four.
shocking. That
I
is a
know,
shocking number of Division One universities within a um, very small geographic area.
and obviously the other three are a lot more established. So Bryant's only been D1 for about a decade. But anyway, you know, I whatever. The announcers, you get what you get. Akron, Zach, they do scare me. They're the number 14 overall seed. SLU lost there, as we said already, 3-0 back on September 23rd. I don't think that's going to happen again, but it's going to be, you know, it's Akron, Ohio in early December. It's going to be cold. It's not going to be an easy game. This is a really, really good
No,
team.
no, yeah. I'm nervous. Of course, I'm nervous. I want to nitpick though, because like, what from this game bothered you? Anything? I mean, you look at some of the missed opportunities in this one were quite frustrating. Theo Franca had a chance to play him, and we both tweeted out simultaneously our displeasure with that decision.
Yeah, he
Um,
had to make that pass.
and then Heck and Leibel's foul. The ball was going to be a Billiken throw
Hmm.
in the Bryant half, and he didn't let the ball ride out and fouled the guy and went to Bryant. Um,
Didn't we have a shot early in overtime too that just went right at the chest of the keeper?
yes, that was Demo. That was one of the nicer little interplays from the Billikens.
Yeah.
They really spent a lot of time. Like again, I love it. Route one. These guys are college soccer players. Test their back line.
Yeah.
I absolutely like. I am chaos theory, chaos theory, chaos theory when it comes to college soccer. It can be a shit show. If you turn it into a shit show, sometimes things go your way.
Yeah, make them
So
make a mistake.
a mix of skill. I honestly thought both VARs were going to go against us immediately, or I thought they were going to go to the spot on both of them. I just thought it was done. Like I was like, of course, that's how this ends. So it was a pleasant surprise to be on the positive end of those.
Yeah, and I think that was the right call with all the VARs
Yes.
as well. So even though they had us nervous in the moment, I think ultimately they got it right.
Demo was fantastic in this one, by the way. I thought he was just an absolute animal. You could see how badly he wanted to win. I thought Leatherman was outstanding. I thought our back line, I don't think there's enough outside of the Umar goal. Outside of that, I don't think there's anything really to like say about. They were fantastic.
No. Yeah. I think everybody was great. Quentin Blair, I think it's the man of the match here. He got both goals in regulation and then was fantastic on the back line as well with Grady Easton still out. So yeah, really big game from him. Um, Akron, Zach, we don't have a game time yet, I don't think.
Is it Saturday?
I don't see anything posted as of yet. The
Okay.
bracket is still empty. By the way, the bracket has been pretty chalky this round. After a
Which
lot
it
of
was
upsets in the first two,
chaos.
yeah.
Yes.
So now you have the seeded teams winning, and you've got number 16 and number 8 Portland in the top left. Number 14 Akron. Right now, SLU is the only unseeded team in the Elite Eight. But we're waiting on the result between Washington and Stanford. If Stanford wins, they are the 12 seed who are going to play number 4 Maryland, but Washington is unseeded. And then in the bottom right bracket, you've got number 7 Georgetown and number 15 NC State playing for the Final Four spot. So SLU has a chance,
They
50-50
have
chance.
do they have a path?
They have a chance, what I was going to say, to be the lowest seeded team remaining, the only unseeded team remaining if Stanford wins. So it's kind of interesting how the Sweet 16 was very chalky compared to the first two rounds.
Do the Billikens have a chance at a path?
Oh, I mean,
They have a path.
you know, as good as Akron is, as much as it was our worst game of the season, they've played each other, right? And I think it's a testament to the non-conference schedule that two of the teams we played are two of the Elite Eight teams in those other 7 spots. So, credit to Kalish for putting together a good schedule again. And as much as you don't want to play Akron, at least there's some familiarity there.
The goal scorer you have to look out for, especially after this game, because he scored once against us back in September. Remy Gunbiade, he scored in the 61st minute of that game. Caleb Borneo scored, and so did Jack Roman. Jack Roman actually assisted on one of the 2 goals scored by Remy Agunbiade, his second goal, his brace, if you will. Assisted by Tyler Mork was the other one. So Remy Agunbiade has 7 goals on the season after this round. So obviously a guy you need to look out for. They have a 6th year or 5th year goalkeeper, redshirt senior Mitch Budler of Lincoln, Nebraska. He got his 13th career shutout, 13th shutout of the season. Obviously he didn't need to make a save.
Yeah.
But I thought this game was pretty even. I watched a little bit of it, but not as far as, shots on goal, but I mean, 10, 12 shots. And from what I watched, it just looked like Akron had a little bit more of that scoring punch.
And Zach, what you think it's going to be Saturday, this next game? Is that what?
I don't know. Do we know? If it's in Akron, hell yeah, let's ride. I'm going to get in major trouble, but
looking ahead, Akron's 4 hours from me. It's the other side of the state. So that is not easy, but looking ahead at their forecast, Akron is looking at highs of 29 to 33 over the course of this week, and lows. I really hope this game is not Thursday or Friday, because lows those days are 13 and 15 degrees. The low Saturday is 26, which is doable. But we are looking at some potential snow Tuesday, Thursday, and then over the weekend a little bit too. So that's going to be a factor.
To be played next Friday or Saturday. I'm assuming. I would like to assume they will see the temperatures and play this on Saturday at like 2 p.m.
I hope you're right, because that would put us right around the freezing mark. If they play Friday night, you're looking at teens. If they play it Saturday night, it's 20s, but there's a chance of snow. So
that would not be ideal.
Yeah.
Let's throw out a couple of interesting notes on their scores. We didn't really do that. VCU, they beat 3-0. They drew number 8 West Virginia. They beat number 16 Ohio State 2-0. They dropped a 1-0 decision of Vermont when they were number 5 in the country. Of course, that 3-0 win over the Billikens when we were number 8 in the country. They drew number 13 Cornell. Shout out Andy from The Office. Let's see. It looks like they lost in the Big East semifinals. So they dropped a 2-1 defeat to UConn. That was the old bid stealer. That's dirty work.
Yeah.
That's creating that extra bid.
Right.
But hey, Friday or Saturday. Hopefully it's Saturday afternoon. How far is it from St. Louis? Anybody know? Chat. What's the drive?
It's farther than you think. I'm telling you right now, Akron is not close. It's the opposite corner of the state.
Oh my God. That's horrible.
I told you. You didn't listen to me. I told you this is not. That's a flight. It's a flight.
All right. I'll look into it. Anyway, that's soccer, man. I'm excited, Pete.
Yep. Really, really great season so far, Zach, and I'm excited too. It's revenge game is always exciting, even though we know they're good.
Pete, we got to talk about men's basketball, don't we?
We do, Zach. I'm not as excited to talk about it this week as I was to talk about soccer or that I have been to talk about men's basketball in recent weeks, but here we are.
I I think that we really needed that men's soccer win uh, to elevate the mood. But I will say, I've seen some discourse online, and a lot of people are saying, even after this, 2-1 on this West Coast swing would not be the worst case scenario. We would still be in decent shape. And I'm willing to I'm coming around to that train of thought. But
Mhm.
let's talk about what happened this week. The Acrisure series at Acrisure Arena in Palm Desert, California, not to be confused with the Acrisure Classic or Palm Springs, California. This is the Acrisure series in Palm Desert, California, Pete.
Yeah, I think there was also the Acrisure Invitational.
That's what it was. Thank you.
No, this thing is a mess. It's got all kinds of branches and twigs, and yeah, it's a big event. But we had our own little pod here, Zach, and in the first game on Thanksgiving Day, it was a 71-70 win over Santa Clara. And Zach, sometimes you get one of those games where it's just two teams at the top of their game, going back and forth, making great plays, and just an awesome game from start to finish. And I have to tell you, this was not one of those games.
It was not fun to watch. Like there was a lot of good stuff, but there was a lot of frustrating things. Like I thought this was a great game from a neutral perspective, but I know nobody's fans wanted to watch this game.
No, and there certainly were no neutral fans in the arena. That's for sure. There were
None.
almost no fans in the arena.
All these
The
tournaments should be played in ballrooms.
in ballrooms.
Yes, I am fully like these tournaments should be sponsored by resorts and you should just play it in their ballroom. They have the infrastructure. Like that, what are we doing? Like, why is even the tournament in Vegas? Like, why are they not doing it at the Wynn or you know, whatever? I don't even know all the casinos in Vegas,
Well,
but like,
I would never. I mean, I can't stand Vegas.
I
As
would
a
go. It would just be
yeah.
a very different vibe than it would have been had it been 15 years ago.
I mean, I guess there are technically casinos in Palm Springs.
I'm
I've
just
been to
saying
one.
resorts, man. Like
Yeah.
partner with resorts. That's how you save. Like it's cheap. Like you have all the teams stay in the hotel. Like all the fans can stay in the hotel. Like it's very very simple. Um,
I don't mind playing basketball in basketball arenas, but I guess I'm controversial that way.
you are, and an idiot to boot. Um, let's see. Uh, this one, if not for a Kellen Thames layup, an up and under scoop shot with 8 seconds left to give the Billikens a 1 point lead, one which they managed to hang on to. Um, the turkey would have been real dry this Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it would have. It really would have, Zach. But luckily, we got the right result in the end, despite not leading most of this game. That play came off a drive and pass from Quentin Jones, who managed to get it over to Thames in the corner before kind of going out of control. I thought Jones was at risk of turning it over the way he kind of started to lean and got rid of that ball at just the right time um, before something worse happened there. But SLU just did not make it easy on themselves in this game, Zach. There were a lot of self-inflicted wounds here.
Uh, I mean, the Billikens gave up 6 offensive rebounds before anybody. Like there were people still finishing up their dinner,
Yeah.
trying to get to the TV, and there was like it was one of the worst rebounding 30 seconds I've ever seen in my life.
There was a point where it was 7-7, and I think they had 13 field goal attempts and we had six. And it was just like, if this is how the whole game is going to be, we're not going to win this game. If we just can't grab a rebound, you can't give another team double the field goal attempts that you're getting and expect to come out with a win. It's not going to work.
One of the hallmarks of this team has been its free throw shooting. They came into this game 83.2% from the line. They proceeded to do the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good night from the line.
12 of 19, 63.2%. No. I mean, to come in at 83% and then do that at the line is really frustrating. But they actually did win the turnover battle by one, right? 12-11. The issue was they had some terrible fouls, fouling jump shooters late. There was one on a 3-point shooter, really late in the game, not just late in the shot clock. I don't know what they were thinking on some of these
Did you
fouls there.
say fouling a 3-point shooter?
I
That
did.
definitely won't come back later. And
Well,
we definitely won't talk about that anymore. Fouling late in the game. We definitely won't talk about that.
but when you don't mean to, I mean, I'm talking about fouling a jump shooter, not fouling somebody to put them on the line. I'm like fouling a jump shooter, and then the free throw shooting, Zach. If SLU shoots 83% and shot 63%, Santa Clara did the opposite. They came into the game shooting 63.5%, and then they shot 82% from the line in this game, which is probably the most inexplicable thing about the game. That they shot each other's free throw percentages. Like if you told me, hey, one team shot 63% and the other shot 82% from the line, you say, yeah, because that's what they do. That's right in line with what they've done all year. It's just the wrong teams did it. But overall shooting was bad too, Zach. 44.1% from the field, 25.9% from three, way below season averages, really uncharacteristic. I guess you have to give credit to Santa Clara's length and their defense, but I thought shot selection was really poor all night.
Did uh did you ever hear Soderberg or Romar talk about uh when you go to a tournament or a strange neutral site facility and maybe the 3-point shooting would go down or the free throw shooting? Did they ever get into that?
It was one of those things that, yeah, like was brought up, but we played in, they thought we always would have an advantage with that, right? Because we played in like an NBA NHL arena, right?
Cavernous.
A big, with big deep ends. When you play in an NHL arena, the ends go way farther. It's not like in Dayton where the people at the ends are right up on you, or if you're in like a St. Bonaventure where you've got almost a wall right at the end, or LaSalle or whatever. So it did come up. They want you to do the shoot around and get used to it. They tried not to overemphasize it. I think you don't want to get in your players' heads. But we were also playing in places like Freedom Hall at the time, like Louisville, which was a really, like, the fans on the sides were really close. It was really narrow, but really long. I think Freedom Hall started off as like a livestock, kind of show. So it was like it was a really weird shape. So the ends were really, really deep, like deeper than an NHL arena, but the sides were right up on you, like a much smaller arena would be. And then we played in other NBA or NHL arenas, in places like Memphis and Marquette, some NBA arenas. So I don't know. They tried not to get into that too much, but we certainly had some performances on the road that would have made you think that it really did matter quite a bit.
How much fun would an MTE be in Old West Pine Gym?
Oh man, the best. That would have been so fun.
Just everybody on top of you.
The thought of that, I mean, like, people would be looking at that like, what country is this being played in?
Yes, the
Like,
old bandbox.
are we safe? Are we in a safe place? Like, where is this? Yeah, amazing. That would be so fun.
A guy gets thrown into the trophy case.
Yes. And you've got the little 3-row bleachers, so
Yeah.
like just a select few fans are right
Oh,
behind the
it
floor.
was the dude. I loved that place. So it was a great place to watch volleyball.
Yeah, yeah,
It was an awesome gym. It is sad that they don't really do anything with that as a basketball facility or an athletic facility.
yeah,
But I mean, really, like it wouldn't get much use other than like if SLU did wanted to do a Midnight Madness up there.
sure.
See that was those were awesome.
Yeah.
when they would do the Midnight Madness in West Pine. Oh,
Yeah.
do you know the name that it was going by? Do you remember it?
The Bowman Eberhard Center. I spent a
Yeah,
lot of
let's
time in there.
go.
I spent a lot of time
Let's
in there,
go.
man.
That's a name that just has completely been erased from the history books, it feels like,
Yeah, I know.
which is weird. Uh, anyway, we do not win this game without Trey Green, Pete.
He was it. I don't want to say everyone on the team was bad, but he was the only one who was really
It felt
good.
like it.
It felt like it. Yeah, he led SLU with 21 points, shooting 6 of 13 from three and just 1 of 1 from two. And then he hit 1 of 2 from the line. The rest of the team shot 1 of 14 from outside. And it's one of those things we've kind of said all year. There's just going to be games where the team goes a little bit cold from three. But we've got so many shooters, you need one or two guys to be on. And it was just him in this game. He was
And that
definitely.
we didn't think was a possibility.
No, I mean, like you're like, okay, they're these guys can shoot the lights out, but it's not gonna happen every night. I don't think I was prepared for such a difference, right? 1 of 14 is shocking. If you've got one guy going 6 of 13, it's like obviously he's the hot hand, but 1 of 14, like I don't know. I mean, I'd like to think you or I could make 1 of 14 attempts. That's crazy. And you're still on mute, so I'm gonna drag this sentence on a little bit longer as I
Yes, yes, yes. Of course, the old mute. Um, yeah, I wonder how much our shooting was impacted by the size of the arena. It was bad. It was bad. I Green was surprisingly really big on defense in this game. Not surprisingly, but as being the influential factor on defense, it was surprising.
The Grand Canyon game was kind of the one that opened my eyes to what he can be defensively. But he was crucially the guy who picked up the ball handler just over half court on that final play of the game, right? So he kept that player in front of him the whole time. He forced him to the baseline. He made himself big by extending fully, and he didn't foul on that final shot. So like he played that as well as you possibly could have.
And,
So
and
I
we
give him
didn't
a
foul. And we didn't
we didn't
foul.
foul.
You know,
I think
that's all. Like, I don't think on those shots, like if you, and we're going to get into it when we get into the following up three discussion, but like, if you do everything you can to not foul, like if they make the shot, if they make a rush shot, more power to them, but
yeah,
don't give them a chance for an and one.
that's
Um,
right.
in this case, in this specific case, we're talking about not fouling on a shot, but we'll be talking about a different kind of fouling later in the show. Um, this was the first time this season we saw anyone play over 30 minutes. Two of them were Trey Green with 31 minutes, and Robbie coincidentally had exactly the same. Um, I thought Dion Brown was again outstanding. He really feels like that guy he's instant offense. We often talk about the 3-point shooters as instant offense, but Dion Brown, it's give him the ball and he's going to quickly go to the hoop.
He is. He is. I don't know if I'd call him. Well, I mean, he was good in this game, right? Trey Green was obviously the guy, but yeah, he's the big play guy. You're right. You give it to him. The last play, Zach, he actually like this is another one where it really like Kellen Thames is going to get all the glory for making that shot, but it took
No.
a lot of guys. It took a village. It took the whole team to make that happen. And on that last play, so he ran in to seal off a potential help defender and give Kellen a clear right side to the lane. I don't think that tough finish would have been possible otherwise because a defender was kind of starting to make his way in, and Brown just very coolly like went in front of him and just kind of boxed him out, and then all like 2 seconds like less than 2 seconds later, Kellen just runs by and goes on that right side, right, and this is where that help defender would have come in. Really, really smart stuff from a savvy veteran player there. He wound up finishing with 13 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, an assist, a block, did a little bit of everything. I wish it had come in the context of a game that we played better overall in. But yeah, he made some big plays as usual.
Thames made the final shot, of course, but he was a perfect 5 for 5 from the field in this one. He came up with 8 rebounds to go with 11 points, 19 minutes, just 19 minutes. I think the more impressive part of this is against who? They had some very long, like we talked about their rebounding in the opening, and Kellen Thames did an outstanding job in that second half on the boards and being able to finish in traffic, including what it was the most insane shot I've ever seen in my life. Was that in this one or the next game?
I don't know.
When
It's
he
not coming to
tipped
mind
it,
immediately.
he just reached out and tipped it. It hit off the front of the rim and then rolled over.
I think that was this one. I think that
Yeah,
was this one.
one of the most like what is up with this team? That's the second weird ass basket we
Yeah.
scored.
Yeah, he had some difficult finishes for sure. Good defensive stops, big boards, his length and athleticism. You're right, really were a difference maker in this game. And it shows, Zach, he was plus 11 for the game. The next best player for SLU was only plus 4. So those 19 minutes were really, really good ones for SLU for sure.
One of the biggest talking points as it pertains to strategic decisions from Santa Clara was about them pressuring the ball to jam up the Billikens' ability to play fast. And I still think the Billikens got away with playing fast. And I, I'm going to say something controversial. Emmingson, what was his name?
Yeah, something like that.
Whatever.
He's the one who slipped late.
Yeah, right. That dude doesn't slip if you're not pressuring full court. So what's up? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I thought the Billikens did really well. They didn't really turn the ball over that much, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, just 11 times.
Yeah, and I mean they're pressured all the way up the court. So I thought, what did you think about that decision from Santa Clara?
I think it was probably the right call. And I think the score sort of bears that out, right? I mean, SLU had kind of run away from most other teams we've played so far this year. Certainly didn't have any problems scoring. So I think if you are the bigger, longer team, I don't know. I think that's a strategy that kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know if you're really putting, again, the Billikens can go 10 deep, 11 deep. You're really, speeding yourself up. As much as you're trying to slow us down, it takes more out of you to slow us down.
That's right.
So it's an interesting decision. And the solution for the Billikens, while it seemed to work for Santa Clara, it just seemed to be ramping up their own defensive pressure and effort and getting stops. You get stops, they can't pressure you. You can get into transition. The other solution to this obviously was just asking that question. As I said, can you defend us like you are for 40 minutes? And they couldn't.
Yeah, not a full 40. No, but I think overall it was
39 minutes and 57 seconds. They defended the Billikens.
Yeah.
Talk about Avila's stat line. Not great, Bob.
Yeah, well, he had 9, 5, and 5 in 31 minutes, right? So, like, he's always a guy who manages to, there's a triple nickel. He always manages to do something, even when it's not his best game. But for the first time this season, I thought his 3-point shot didn't look great. He was 1 for 3. He had an air ball, and his only make, he needed a really favorable bounce to go in. It kind of hit the front of the rim and crawled over there, took a high bounce. So he was 2 of 7 overall, just not really like he's been a deadly shooter so far this season. And you just didn't see that here. This was a game, Zach, that had 13 ties and 10 lead changes. Santa Clara, to their credit, led for 27 minutes of this game. But, we only needed, We really only, I guess, needed to lead for those last 9 seconds or so.
Um,
Kind of incredible.
Looking at the notes here, if both teams had shot their averages, and I'm leading into a hypothetical that I want to
Uh,
get into. If both teams had shot their averages in this game from the free throw line, it would have been an 8-point swing, +4 for SLU and -4 for Santa Clara. My question is, how bad of a team can you take to the NCAA tournament if they made every free throw?
oh
Like,
boy.
if you went back at the stats and adjusted their scoring for making every free throw, so you would have to also add anytime they missed a 1-and-1, they would be given then 2 free throws, right? Or 2
Sure.
points. So doing that, what's the worst team you could take to the NCAA tournament?
Wow. That's amazing. That team from my senior year that went 9-21, that could have been a tournament team with that, because that team lost. They were 1-12 in games that were like close games. So I'm talking about games that either went to overtime or were decided by 6 or fewer points, like 2 possession games. That team was 1-12 in those circumstances, right? So even if you win half of those, that's a 500 team.
I
Um,
know some of you message board morons out there can go back and do that calculation.
but what I'm saying is,
Fellow message board morons, by
making
the way.
making all of your free throws, I think, wins you all of those games, and then maybe some others, right? So I think I think it's a pretty like it would be interesting. I'm not going to do that experiment,
No,
but
like I said, if anybody wants to do that experiment, I would be happy to shout you out and show the results of that.
sure.
Dear Lord, get in the comments. Um, yeah, also speaking about hypotheticals, what would it have looked like if anyone not named Trey Green could make a shot? I mean, it's the Billikens run away with this.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a shame it really all came down to him being the only one who was productive at all from outside, especially.
uh, talk about you talked about, well, we kind of talked about Ensminger.
Yeah.
We want to acknowledge that there were some late slips on wet spots on the floor. And in the notes you have, this was a net impact more unfavorable for Santa Clara than for SLU. And I think you buried the lead here, Pete.
Okay. Why did I bury the lead? Because
Um,
they did have multiple guys slip late, including that one.
um,
We had like Dion Brown had one where it was kind of like he like kind of pulled up a little bit. He was like really gingerly like trying not
mm,
to slip. And that kind of screwed us up on a possession. But
yeah,
what's the lead here?
I mean, you were watching this game on your phone, right?
Yeah. Well,
Did you have sound?
I was listening to Earl and Rammer's broadcast
Okay.
and then went back and watched later.
Could you hear Ensminger? Like
No, on
like
the radio broadcast, no.
it was almost as bad as that injury where the guy slips on the other guy's foot and then hits face plants while doing the splits.
Oh my gosh.
That's how bad Ensminger was screaming. So and of course the Santa Clara burners out there came in our mentions complaining they had
Oh God.
injuries. They had injuries. I mean, that's part of the competition. I'd like to remind everybody.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Billikens did not play a good game. That's the bottom line. And they came away with a win against a good team. Um, one of the interesting points of this, we kind of hinted at it in the way we talked about it in the open for the game, is that there were multiple ways to view the game. Some thought it was a classic online. Some people online thought it was a classic. And then some people online thought it was a ref show. I don't know what's your take on that.
I don't think I would call it either of those. I think it was just kind of an ugly game. I think like kind of by design. Like we talked about Santa Clara's strategy. We talked about SLU's horrible shooting. This was an ugly game. I don't know. This was not a classic to me. I don't think every close game is a great game. Sometimes there are bad games that just happen to end up close. And I think this is more like that. I don't want to watch teams go out and brick so many shots, and just because it comes down to the wire, we call it a classic. Like, no, thank you. Like, I want to see games where teams are executing and playing well, and they're just out strategizing or out playing each other. Like, that's what you want to see, not crap. So no, I don't think I'd call it a classic. Didn't love the officiating, but I don't think I'd call it a complete ref show either. What's your take here? Am I missing something?
I know. I thought it was mid. I thought it was a game where both teams played like crap,
Yeah,
but it was an exciting game. Like I thought there was elements of excitement to it.
yeah.
Obviously for us, I could see there were elements of the pain of defeat. So like it was an entertaining game. It just wasn't entertaining if you were a fan of either team.
No, not at all. It had no flow. It just had no flow. And that's the kind of you get pulled out of a game like that. Like if you're a neutral and there are other games on, this is one of those games you probably flip
But
off.
then I saw there was somebody on Twitter saying, "Hey, turn on SLU Santa Clara." Like there were people that were like hyping up
Just
the
well
game mid
at the
game.
at the end for the finish, maybe.
Huh? I don't know. What was your so you obviously watched on your phone and you were listening to so what was your strategy
Listened
here?
on my phone and then went back to rewatch some later. But um yeah, so I got Earl and Rammer's call for this game, Zach, live.
I got away with putting it on the TV. I was
That's
it was
I was so I was
it,
at
it
my
cost it cost
yeah,
their dues had to be paid
yeah,
to make it happen, but
during
yeah.
Thanksgiving is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I ate quickly. I was gone from the table before the kids finished.
yeah. So I was at my aunt.
Uh,
I was not good company during this. I like popped an earbud in, was kind of sitting
oh
there.
yeah.
But normally, so I was at an aunt's house. She does not have cable, right? Which is fine, more power to you. But didn't have any sort of like cable or YouTube TV or anything like that, which normally isn't a problem because if it's just NFL games, those are on the main networks anyway. So we got all three of those, but I could not get CBS Sports for this one, and really wanted it to be on ESPN Plus because have an easier time with that app and everything. So no, I had the audio primarily for this one.
Luckily, it was a good game. Like if they had gotten their ass kicked, that would have sucked. At least it was like I said, it was entertaining unless you cared about either team. So the people at Thanksgiving weren't like it wasn't boring or
Sure.
it was an interesting game.
Yeah.
Um, and then Black Friday.
Yeah.
Um,
I, I like
I don't want to do this.
I don't even want to talk about this one either, Zach, but I think we have to
Um,
acknowledge the 78-77 loss to Stanford, as you said, on Black Friday. Stanford
yeah.
beat Minnesota 72-68 to advance.
Which speaking of Black Friday, reminds me that we have not seen the Lou jerseys yet. They have not been whether they're back this year or not, unsure.
Yeah,
But like you said, Stanford beats Minnesota 72-68 to advance to whatever this is going to be was called. Was it a final? I don't know.
it was.
But we should probably Tarantino this.
Yeah, and start at the end of this game because Stanford was down 3 with 9 seconds left after Jones hit a pair of free throws. Brown then fouled Ibuka Okori, their leading scorer, but the whistle was late enough, Zach, that it made it sound on the broadcast like the foul was actually on a 3-point
Yeah.
attempt that
Which
came
I would have
after
taken. I would have taken it. That's
having him
fine with me.
shoot
I
free.
of the options, I'm not as afraid of like taking 3 free throws. Like make them shoot 3 different times. Like which is funny because I'm gonna have an
Yeah,
opinion. Like it's very funny to me that if the foul occurs, I'm almost okay with a 3 point, like a foul on a 3 point as well. Seeing as he doesn't make it. Seeing as he doesn't make it.
yes.
Well, actually, I will admit, I have to come clean. This is obviously with hindsight being what happened instead. So I may not be okay with three free throws. I may not. I may have lied to the audience.
It would have been brutal, but you had tweeted out Dion in all caps. Dion Brown is fouling him all the way down the court. So I don't know why the ref who was standing right there following the ball didn't just blow the whistle. I don't know if it was poor officiating, poor defending by Brown, who maybe should have been more obvious about it. Get your body in front of him, for example, instead of
Yeah.
just trying to, like my thought is put your body in front of him and try and steal it. And if you foul him, so what?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If you're trying to foul, don't just run alongside him, like trying to
Yes.
reach in. Like put your body in front of him and force the contact. And
Yes.
maybe you come up with a steal. Maybe the guy tries to go around you and steps on the
Well,
sideline. It's like
yep.
go for something like that. But I guess all of this brings you to the inevitable question, Zach. And I know you're going to have a lot to say here. Should we have even been trying to foul up three in that situation?
Um, well, let's kick this off with what we know about my opinions on this. I believe it is well documented that I believe that fouling up three is lame as hell for the sport of basketball. I think it is unfun for the viewer at home. I think the game should be decided by playing basketball, not playing lawyer ball, as Hank Hill once said. Um, as for whether or not you should foul up three in the interest of winning, I will say this: teams foul intentionally to extend a game when they are losing. I have to question why you would want to extend a game you're winning. Second, if you're up three with 5 to 9 seconds remaining and you have to defend against a three, that's literally the only shot you have to defend. If they get within the 3 point line, they are going to lose the game. It's the only shot they can take. Stay rooted to the floor. My opinion, stay rooted to the floor. Don't foul, cover the perimeter. Third, the best a team can do down three, as long as you don't foul, is tie the basketball game. Given that the best they can do is tie, that gives you 5 minutes to respond to, and you're not going to lose. So what I'm saying is don't go into the possession understanding that the clock and space on the floor is your friend, right? Like I said before, do not leave your feet to contest. They are likely only going to get one shot. I want to credit a little bit to Gaines here on Twitter, who pointed out that it was like a 91% win probability going into that final possession.
Mm-hmm.
How many more percentage points do you need? Like those are unbelievable odds. I'd take that every day. If he makes that three to tie the game, good on him. You believe in the mental toughness of your team and you go into overtime in a new game. You have 5 full minutes to respond to that. Do not extend the game. Do not give them a chance to, like, that 3 point shot. The chances of them rebounding that 3 point shot and taking another 3 point shot are a little bit tougher than if you line people up on the line. And it's like, I just don't, it's adding to the equation you don't need to add.
Mm-hmm.
Just play defense, stay on your feet, and you are going to get through this alive.
So they've got the ball. It's 9 seconds.
I think I don't
Yeah, no,
remember
no, that's
exactly
what
what
it
it
is. They
was.
crossed the timeline. And look, I mean, the kid who had the ball, the freshman, that's their score. That's the 24 point a game guy. He was only 3 for 14 in this game, but I was like I when I was watching that play live, I was saying to Brown, well, I was saying to the ref, like whistle, whistle, like call it. Like Brown was clearly fouling him. And I was fine with Brown's decision to foul him because I was just picturing this kid, and when I leading up to the game, I had watched a little bit of video highlights of him. He can really shoot it. He's got range on his shot. He's got a good looking shot, and I just pictured a scenario in which he's taking it down to Brown the whole way, and instead of going to the rim, he stops and pulls up from 20 feet or whatever, and hits a three, or maybe even a long two. But I liked the idea of fouling him and not letting him shoot. There was another guy on their team who we'll get to, who was a nobody, who happened to hit 4 3-pointers. The guy who hit the three
Had no points.
eventually had no points. He had taken himself out of the first half with fouls. So I'm just looking at the guy with the ball in his hands is not a guy who I wanted to shoot. I was fine with it. Schertz said he likes it between 7.5 seconds and 2.5 seconds. Any longer is too much time left on the clock. Any shorter opens yourself up to a shooting foul on a last second shot, right? So that he's got a 5 second window where it's the thing that he wants to do. And Zach, I will go ahead and take the opposite position as you. I will say, like, in that 5 second window, and I'm sure he's crunched the numbers and everything, or read enough analysis on it. I don't mind it. I think it's the right thing to do. And I know that doesn't make me like a purist of the game or whatever. And I know everybody was upset about it, but there is a scenario in which that dude hits a 3-pointer and everybody is yelling, "Why didn't we foul?" Not knowing what was going to transpire here. I tried to Google and like look up some analyses on this. There's a lot that was done. It must have been a big topic of conversation like 3 years ago, because there was a ton after the 2022 season about it. Like, I found like three of the first articles I found were all based on that season, and the prior, like the 10 prior seasons or whatever. I found articles on this going back over 10 years, more like 15 years. And they really all do come to the conclusion that generally, yes, it is better to foul. They don't all say 2.5 to 7.5 seconds. Some of them are like 3 to 9 seconds, 2 to 8 seconds. Like, there's kind of a variance there. But generally, if you're in that situation, they say it's better to foul than let them shoot the 3-pointer. And to me, it's like, I know ESPN's win probability said 91% or whatever, but I don't know. I'm looking for any edge there possibly is. So I don't question the decision. I really don't.
I want to bring something up real quick. I want to jump back to soccer real quick. Somebody on Billikens.com, might have been the return of Quijibo, by the way. If you remember that name from old school Billikens.com.
Sure. Yeah. You're kind of throwing me for a loop now, but yeah.
I know. Sorry. But anyway, he's somebody posted, mentioned, and I had forgotten this because Abonnel wears the sleeve with the tendencies on it, that goalies will tape tendencies to their water bottle. And that might be why he threw the water bottle over the net.
Oh yeah, well,
which is unbelievably funny. It makes it unbelievably
sorry.
funny.
I thought that was obvious. I thought that's exactly.
No, I didn't realize. I didn't even think about it.
Abonnel has like the QB, but yeah, most keepers keep it on the bottle.
That's so funny. That's great. He's such a prick, but he's our prick. Anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments about following up three. You're more Billy Bean. I'm more that old asshole that was on his staff that he fired him in Moneyball. That's where I'm at right now. I don't know. It feels like following up three feels like doing too much.
I mean, I think there is a lot to be said for your argument that you're introducing more variables, you're extending the clock, right? Like, you're not letting the clock, which is your worst enemy at that point, run out. So
you brought these guys here to play basketball. It's a basketball game.
It's a tough call, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Okori made the first. Here's how it all went down. Okori makes the first. I am not going to play this. We are not playing this. Stanford called a timeout, and he missed the second. The offensive rebound goes to Stanford. Stanford runs what has become kind of a very standard route for the two big men on the block. They cross over each other. confusing the other two, the opposing two big men. And that's what happened here. And uh, why don't you read it? Because I just I'm just hurting inside.
I I watched this and I know it was painful, but I watched it and I watched it again. And they okay, so what happened here, Zach? You could tell that this is what they drew up right on the sideline. Like so
Yes, because that's the play to flip flop.
right. So they flip flop, right? So the idea there you could see it. They looked at each other. They moved that way. The idea here is, if the ball goes to one side, like dramatically to one side, you can get around the guy. You can go under him that way, right? So the guy boxing you out is really only keeping you off of that side. But if you give up that side, take a few extra steps and try to go under, there you are for a bad miss. And you know he's going to miss badly because that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to go to one of the sides. Stanford executed it perfectly. I thought it was a smart play drawn up from Kyle Smith, their head coach. You had a freshman free throw shooter who executed, and the two bigs did. But despite that smart play, Zach, and it was a smart play, this was just a stupid game overall, a really stupid game, and I was so angry after
It
watching
was
this
a
game.
bit SIUE ish.
I don't. It was
It
different.
no, well, I say that because it never felt like SLU was gonna lose the game until they did.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it. It's like the whole game. You like maybe not in the very beginning, but by the end of by mid first half through the rest of the first half, you're just like, oh yeah, okay, I see where this is going, right? Like we're gonna win this game. It might not be pretty, but we're gonna win this game.
Yeah.
So I think you're right there, and like that's okay. That's fair because that SIUE game, you just did not believe until the final buzzer that we weren't going to win. It's
By the way, just a really bad time to have a game like this, right? When the Stu's got to talk about the beginning of gambling in Missouri.
the I know, yeah,
Just a poor timing.
which starts I guess today as we release this.
Yeah.
SLU led by as much as 15 in the first half. It was 11 at halftime. And like you said, it felt like it was going to be a comfortable win. Like maybe not perfect, but yeah, like we would have it. Stanford had two starters with three fouls each by halftime. The last 10 minutes of the half, I thought SLU just outclassed them in every way, like just established themselves as the better team. The second half started a little slow, but it wasn't really until after the first media, I guess arguably under 17 minutes, right? That Stanford actually started to chip away at the lead from 16:54 to 8:34. An 8-minute and 20-second stretch, SLU did not score a field goal. And during that stretch, SLU had multiple 3-minute periods without even a single point. They broke it up a little bit with some free throws, but didn't even have a point for multiple 3-point chunks there. And Stanford got to within one during that run, which I guess is credit to SLU's defense, because for that much time, a lot of other teams might have run away with it. They tied it at 7:19. They took the lead at 5:24 when Jeremy Dent Smith hit yet another three-pointer, his third of four in the game, despite being a 27% three-point shooter coming into the game. A complete nobody. Stanford ends up shooting 48.1% from three in the game, despite being under 31% as a team for the season. This happened a lot last season, Zach, and I really hope it doesn't become a theme again this season, where like a team well outperforms their three-point shooting average and one random dude just
That
goes
is a
off.
classic Billiken game.
When that happened in this game, like their three-point shooting in this game, I was like, oh no, 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 no.
Yeah.
Like that felt like last season all
it
over
felt
again.
like it felt like the last 10 years.
Oh
It
God.
was it was it destroyed my sense of Billiken ego.
It happened a lot last season. You just mentioned Stu. I remember him writing like multiple pieces about why is this happening? Why are teams outperforming? against SLU from the 3-point line. And why is it just it's never like their star, right? It's just some guy comes in and hits 5 or 6, and it's a guy we didn't even scout. It was wild. Anyway, there were more ties and lead changes after that, but it kind of still felt like SLU had it in control when they went up 4 with 26 seconds to play. You thought it was 75-71 at that point. You think like, okay, all right, just close this out. Don't be stupid. In the next possession, Stanford got a ridiculous, an utterly ridiculous 3-pointer from Ryan Agarwal, who was leaning forward in traffic and just kind of it was a flat shot. It had no arc on it. He just kind of threw it at the basket. It looked like he was trying to draw a foul. Somehow it goes in to make it a 1-point game with 15 seconds left. I'm wondering, Zach, watching this game, was his foot on the line? And I'm wondering, like, why did they not even review this? Like they didn't even
No,
take a look at
I
it.
think it was fine. I don't even think it was close. I don't know. I think the ref was right there, if I recall correctly.
He
Like
was. I
right
wish
there.
on the first few replays they showed, you couldn't see his toe. It was kind of like I said, it was in traffic, so it was blocked by the defender's leg. But just an unbelievable circus shot that you think like, oh, certainly that's where their luck runs out because you don't see shots like that very often. But that set up the foul for Jones's free throws before the final sequence that we already talked about. So it's the combination of those 3-pointers, right? Like the falling out of bounds, high arcing, stupid shot that won the game. But I think we were overrating just how unlikely the three that I just described is as well. So the combination of those back to back is just so stupid to me. I cannot believe that happened.
By the way, Ryan Agarwal is one of the two uh, NCAA basketball players in Division One of Indian descent. So that was kind of a story within the story of this game. Was
Sharma being the
Sharma?
other. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, this game sucked. Well, there's so much we could talk. We've talked so much about this game and said so little about the actual game.
It
Like,
does
I
feel
just
like that.
realized how much more we have to talk about.
Yeah, I know. I know. Ryan Agarwal's name is so familiar, by the way. I
It
want to
is.
say
Ryan
SLU.
Agarwal sounds like a guy that Brad Soderberg would have recruited. Like
I
it
think.
just, there's a that there's a like what is it, a homonym?
All right, I found it. It's because we offered him
Did
back
we?
back when Ford was here. I knew that name. He's from Texas. He's been at Stanford the whole time, but we offered him, I think, actually pretty early.
I just realized we're gonna see what's the guy on San Francisco? The Chinese kid, Barry.
Barry.
Yeah, he's buddies with Zhang,
Oh, okay.
that cigarette smoking mf'er.
No, I don't know. I don't know Barry. I'll have to look him up.
um. Anyway, run us down the rest of this game, man. I think we can.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, I was sick to my stomach afterwards. I was angry. I struggle to find positives from what we witnessed in this game. I think if you look for a couple, 11 turnovers, second straight game of that. We went 26 of 28 from the free throw line.
How did we lose this game?
I mean, losing a game on 2 circus shots from outside isn't possible, Zach, unless you put yourselves in a position to lose. And I think that's what SLU did with awful decision making all night. A complete lack of focus against the zone defense. They looked really confused against that defense at times. The 3-pointers were not falling yet again. 5 for 20, 25%. And then SLU just started forcing contested layups. So they go 18 of 41 from two, which is something that this offense is supposed to prevent. It was 7 for 22 from the second half. And it was everyone getting in on the action there. It wasn't just a couple guys making bad choices. I think 37.7% overall from the field is just not something you expect to see from this team, even when they're off, and especially against a mediocre opponent. Because, like, let's be honest, Stanford isn't very good. They didn't look that good, but they were content to stick with that zone. collapse on SLU inside, use their height advantage. Each team had 4 block shots, but it really felt like more for the Cardinal to me personally. I think they just disrupted a lot of shots and baited SLU into a lot of bad shots.
Yeah, and I thought with that the officiating, I mean, not that it was bad, it just the way it was officiated was not beneficial to the
Correct.
Billikens in this one. They called a lot in that first half, and then apparently had a few I don't know, shots of something, or they just loosened up.
They did, and SLU was. It's almost like they were expecting the whistle to tighten up at some point in the second half because there was contact on some of those missed shots, but the officials let them play, and I don't know. I'm not too angry about it. Like I just they were being stupid, so it didn't benefit them either way. SLU held Akori, their leading scorer, to 17 points on 3 of 14 shooting, but that means he got to the line a lot. I think they did a good job on Stanford's other good player, the Chisholm Okpara, but he came alive, at least for a half they did. He came alive in the second half, ended up leading them with 19 points. And he also, like Okori, attempted 10 free throws. Oh gosh. Like they had that Rahosi kid. He's an effort guy. He had 3 fouls in the first half, but finished with 11 and 9. And he's the one who had the offensive board and
Of
the
course,
assist on that final shot. That was
son
him.
of a bitch.
I know. Yeah, yeah. He's, nothing about him screams he's going to tear up the ACC, but like he's going to be a pest, right? So, I guess credit to Stanford for that. But SLU had 5 guys in double figures. 4 of them had 11 or 12. Trey Green led him again with 15.
The only
Green,
one alongside Sharma
yeah.
who hit a 3-pointer in this one. I mean, Avila's got to make a three. I mean, somebody else has to make
Somebody, yeah,
it.
Dunlap,
Anybody, just
anybody,
one.
Sharma, and
Dunlap, you
Green can't do it,
stink.
but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, guys. Please, that slap shot, guys. Come on. Green and Avila hit that 30-minute mark, second game in a row here. It seems like it's easier to question anything in a loss. Minutes distribution, of course, is one of those things. What do you make of Thames playing time in this one?
I think 12 minutes was not enough. I don't think anyone was having their best game here, but I think throwing different looks at a relatively rigid team may have helped us, especially a big play guy like Thames, who had 2 steals and who showed that against Santa Clara he could get it done against taller competition, right? So maybe they thought there were just some guys who were less suited to play against the zone, but the way everyone was playing against it, why not try something else, right? Like I think Thames would have been a good change of pace at times in the second half. When we were kind of not really getting much done offensively.
Obviously, I think there's a guy who gets a pass when it comes to these games this week. It's got to be Trey Green. I mean, I think you know, I it's just there's not a lot of good to come out of this game. I really hope this team learns from it. If they learn from this game, I suspect that we won't lose again in conference. If they do not lose or learn from this game, I am worried about Tuesday night.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think the bad decisions just stacked up here. And Stanford again, not a great team. They were picked to finish 17th in the ACC, which is enough
That's too many teams.
to remind you that they have 18 teams in the league now. Yeah, right. So they're going to lose a lot of games this season. This stings. It doesn't look like a bad loss now, but by March it might. SLU doesn't have the strength of schedule to make up for this. When you're not in the Big Ten or the ACC or the SEC or the Big 12, and you don't have a strong non-conference schedule, you're just not allowed to make a mistake. It's not right, it's not fair, but it's reality at this point. And SLU missed a chance to be 7-0 for the first time since the Larry Hughes season. The,
Yeah.
the last thing I'll say, Zach, is they need to figure it out on intentional free throw misses. It doesn't happen a lot, but it's how they lost to Grand Canyon last season. It's how they lost to Stanford this season.
I'm
Figure that out. Figure it out.
figure it out. I mean, you look at what Kalish and his staff has done with their goalkeeping and Abonnel. It's kind of a similar scenario, right? It's out of the run of play. It's not something you can account for every game, but it's something you should account for because it's crunch time when it does happen.
Yeah, right.
So, um, I wonder if the only saving grace is that it's Stanford that we lost to and not um, Santa Clara, in that maybe there is some juice to the strength of schedule for Stanford. And being a Power Five school, maybe it's looked upon favorably, even though it's a 1 point loss. I'm looking for any sort of positive spin.
I think Stanford is better than Minnesota. Minnesota will have a tough non-con or a tough conference schedule in the Big Ten, but they're going to be one of the bottom few Big Ten teams. Santa Clara went on to beat them by about 10, and that was without Ensminger, their
Hmm.
starter who was in on crutches after that slip.
He
So
done.
yeah, I don't know what his situation is. They haven't said publicly, but he didn't play in that game, and they still beat him by 10. So anyway, I think Stanford was the better game. You hope it doesn't, ruin you if it does come down to a at-large situation.
Um, Pete, let's preview Loyola on Tuesday, December 2nd, and then Central Michigan on Sunday the 7th. It does look like the games will not interfere with soccer, so that is good.
Good. Yeah, so at Loyola Marymount Tuesday, like you said, we all know the history by now, Zach. In December of 2011, SLU went out to the 76 Classic in Anaheim and beat Boston College, Villanova, and Oklahoma in the span of 4 days. Then they stayed in Southern California to play Loyola Marymount 2 days after that Oklahoma game and came away with a 7 point loss. Total trap game. This season, Loyola Marymount 7-2. They're coming off a loss to Stony Brook. Their other loss was to Florida Atlantic, and they have wins over Ohio, UC Santa Barbara, Troy, UTEP, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Eastern Washington, and lower division Lincoln University, and no, not the one in Missouri.
And
This
Florida
is
Atlantic just lost to Bonaventure.
They did. This is not the Loyola Marymount of the 80s, but they do score about 81 points a game, and they shoot the ball really well from the floor. Over 48% overall and almost 38% from three. They're a little bit below average from the free throw line, 67.1%. But they have two guys scoring a little over 15 points a game, MJ Amy Jr. and Jan Vida. But Vida is
Jan
out.
Vita is an amazing name.
That's how I'm going to say it. I'm going to go Dutch, even though I think he's Slovenian. I don't know how you say that in Slovenian. He's out with a foot injury though, and
Jan Vita.
I don't think that's right. Jan, he's not going to play against Slew, but Amy is going to fire away. He's got 66 3-point attempts this season already, and he technically is doing it off the bench. He doesn't start, even though he's their leading scorer. There are two starters who average 10 minutes fewer than him. I don't know why he doesn't start. It's just a quirk of their rotation, I guess. Rodney Brown scores 13.2 points a game and is just as likely as Amy to shoot it from three, 64 attempts this season, and he shoots about 41% compared to Amy's 38%. Jalen Shelley, 6'8" forward who averages about 11 and 7. The other starting forward is 6'6", 230, just a tree trunk of a man. Aaron McBride averages about 8 and 7. Aside from the 6'6" wing Brown, I think SLU will really have a size advantage here. They don't hit the offensive glass too hard, but they're a solid defensive rebounding team. But since Jan went down, they're 2-2 with one bad loss, and they needed overtime for one of those wins. This was a complete trap game in 2011, but it really has to be a win this time, Zach. Central Michigan on Sunday, I don't have as much to say about. They're 3-4 overall. They've beaten Appalachian State, Coppin State, and a lower division school, Adrian College. They lost to Bradley, South Alabama, NKU, and Marquette. They've got two guys averaging double figures, and their leading scorer is their 7-foot center, Nathan Clairbout. He averages 11.4 points a game, and he's also good for 7.3 rebounds and 1.7 blocks. Logan McIntyre and Jackson Whitaker are the 3-point shooters to look out for. They average about 6.6 and 5.0 attempts per game. No one else shoots more than 2. If you think SLU spreads out minutes, CMU does even more. They've got 10 guys averaging 10 or more minutes a game. They don't take a ton of threes. They only hit 31% from outside. They don't get to the line much. There's just nothing here that scares you on paper. They're just within the 300 mark on the Ken Palm ratings. It doesn't need to just be a win. I think this is a team you should blow out. They're just not good.
Let's go around the A10. Monday, the 24th, Towson beat Rhode Island 62-55 in the Terry's Chocolate ESPN Invitational Adventure Bracket. George Washington 92, Middle Tennessee 79 in the Cayman Islands Classic. George Mason 92, Ohio 69. Nice at the Sunshine Slam Beach Division. Their 6-0 start is the best in school history. They are still fraudulent. Tuesday the 25th, UNC 85, St. Bonaventure 70 in the Fort Myers Tip-Off Beach Division. Rhode Island 80, Vermont 65. More from the adventure bracket of the Terry's Chocolate ESPN Events Invitation. I'm done with that. Northern Iowa 72, Loyola 51. Jesus H. St. Joe's 100, Rutgers Camden 61. Why is that even in here? George Mason 74, Florida Atlantic 65. Murray State 96, George Washington 95.
Unreal.
Not a lot of defense was played in that one. Wednesday the 26th, San Jose State 63, Loyola 51. PD Buckets, quote, Loishai has lost their last 5 games by 84 points. Everyone is healthy. Their roster is expensive. Their coach is in year 5. They were a preseason top 100 team on Ken Palm and picked 5th in the A10. You simply cannot overstate how insane and egregious this is.
Well said.
VCU 78, South Florida 66, Duquesne 101, Central State 80, Rhode Island 90, Temple 75. That is the last check-in from the adventure bracket of the Terry's Chocolate. God damn it. I'm just going to run through the rest of them. Thursday, the 27th, 24th ranked Vanderbilt beat VCU 89-74. Just a really good Vanderbilt team. Apparently they're spending money. Screw Diego Pavia, by the way. Go get a job, man. Furman 73, Richmond 72, Bonaventure 6-7, East Carolina 58, Dayton 84, Georgetown 79 in overtime, but 6-7 at sporting events is my new favorite thing. Also, they're doing 67th day of school now in schools, which is interesting.
Oh, God.
Friday the 28th, number 9, BYU 83, Dayton 79. I just had a feeling Dayton was going to win that game just to really screw with us.
That would have been the worst night, too, because this was right after their game ended right after ours.
Is this a palindromatic score here? VCU 86, Virginia Tech 68. Is that right? Do I have that right? Yep. Richmond 71, Charlotte 66, Hofstra 63, LaSalle 58, Davidson 90, North Carolina A&T 74, Fordham 74, Franklin Pierce 72, Parle Francois and Quebec or whatever. I don't know. Saturday the 29th, Georgia Mason 82, James Madison 66, Penn 73, LaSalle 71, Fordham's 88, Albany 68. Sunday the 30th, Merrimack 66, LaSalle 60, and I think, LaSalle not good. St. Joe's outlast Princeton 60-58. I don't think this is your father's Princeton team. They did have a good chance to win at the end and missed a long 3-pointer after broken play. That's why what, Pete? Don't foul up 3. Sorry.
Amazing.
Yeah, they would have a chance to win. Never mind. You still don't foul up 3. Colgate 72, Fordham 62, Bonaventure 70, Florida Atlantic 65. Solid road win for the Bonnies and the A10. Oh my God, we've gone on for a long time.
I think we need a snack break, Zach.
We do need a snack break. Hold on 1 second. All right, we're back from getting our snack. Pete, what did you have?
I had, Zach, 2 Men in a Garden, salsa, Medium heat cantina style, which I found at Schnucks right across the street from my parents' house in Richmond Heights. Fantastic. It's always my favorite thing to find. I like the cantina style a lot. It's perfect. It's the texture. It's my favorite texture of all of their salsas. Um, I think you should look for it too on shelves around St. Louis. I just told you one of the Schnucks locations that it's at, but you could find it at a lot of other places too. Or go to twomeningarden.com and take advantage of their $9.99 nationwide shipping. I know I do because I live in Cincinnati and I'm not always in town to be able to pick it up over Thanksgiving week. So just a lucky week for me. But anyway, twomeningarden.com. Go check them out today.
Dude, I got chills just from hearing you talk about 2 Men in a Garden salsa. Um, let's talk about the women's basketball team, Pete. We're gonna have to move through this fairly quickly. Big week for men's basketball and men's soccer. Unfortunately, women's basketball is going to take the hit. They did pull off a 70-67 win against SMU on Tuesday, the 25th, the Windy City Classic in Nashville. We said they would have to win. We said they had to win it against a bad one-win SMU team, and they did. As predicted, it was not pretty. The Billikens used a couple runs in the third quarter to take the lead and build a lead. SMU pulled to within two late, 66-64, and then hit a three to get within one, 68-67. But SLU hit a pair of free throws, and Hannah Wallace blocked the Ponies' last attempt to hold on. SLU had four double-digit scores. Nelson led with 19 points. Nugent had 16, Brown 14. She is showing some value as a three-point shooter, 3 of 7 from outside. Jada Dennis had 11 with 7 of those at the line. They got to the line more than their opponent for once and went 23 of 27 overall. Outstanding work there. That was the main difference in the game. Something we talked about earlier, how much free throw shooting can put you over the top in close games. Turnovers were even. SMU out-rebounded the Billikens by 9. They lost by 10 to a better Stetson team on Wednesday, the 26th, Pete.
They did, and they got in a huge hole being outscored 25-8 in the second quarter. Stetson was up by 20 at half, 47-27. SLU then outscored the Hatters in the third and fourth quarters, but just not by enough. They didn't get to a closer margin than 7 points down. When you break down the box score, it really just was the bad second quarter that doomed them. They shot 2 of 17 overall, 1 of 10 from 3 in that quarter. That dragged them down to an overall slash line of 371, 222, 750. So again, the free throw shooting wasn't bad. Everything else was, and it really was that quarter. Nelson was the leading scorer again with 18, and Dennis was second with 15, matching her career high. Stetson has a winning record. This is still a game SLU is supposed to win, and unfortunately, the Bills dropped to 2-6 on the season, Zach. But they do come back home for the next 2 games.
Yeah, they do. And it's going to be a bit of a reprieve. What?
Oh yeah.
Wait, we're playing Bonaventure on the 3rd of December?
Yeah, it's weird, Zach. The A10 is doing like one kind of stray conference game the way the Missouri Valley does on the women's side. So you're playing one conference game early and then not again until New Year's Eve. So not only is that weird, something weird is happening up in St. Bonaventure, New York. The Bonnies are usually by far the worst team in the league.
They brought that coach back.
Maybe they still will be, but this year they're 7-2 right now, with losses to Cleveland State and Albany, and wins over Valpo, Radford, Buffalo, Canisius, Binghamton, Niagara, and one lower division school. So it's 7-2 against a fairly weak schedule, but they've beaten most of their regional rivals, and some of those were road games. Lacey Drake is the leading scorer and rebounder, 16 points, 6 rebounds a game. She's their top 3-point shooter. She shoots over 89% from the free throw line, and she's good for about 2 steals a game too. So she's really versatile. Aaliyah Parker is their second leading scorer and rebounder, averaging 13 and 6. those are the two you have to focus your defensive game plan around. It's really just role players beyond them. They're a solid defensive team, allowing under 57 points a game. They don't shoot the three well, but they're allowing other teams just 25% from the perimeter. So they want to play slow, keep the score low, and make it a defensive grinder, and that's how they win. On Sunday, Zach, SLU plays Evansville. The Purple Aces are 2-5, but coming off a win against Northern Illinois. Their other win was against IU Indy, and they have losses to SEMO, Eastern Kentucky, Wright State, SIUE, and a ranked Iowa team. That was almost a 70-point loss. They'll play Purdue before SLU, so they'll be 2-6 when they get to Chaffetz. This just is not a good team. They shoot under 37% overall, which actually makes their 34% three-point percentage pretty respectable. They turn it over 19 times a game. Sophomore point guard Cameron Runner is the leading scorer, over 16 points a game. Not a great three-point shooter, but she gets to the line a ton and has half of the team's free throw attempts this season. She's also a surprisingly good rebounder for a 5'8 guard. The other sophomore guard, Logan Lubers Palmer, is the second leading scorer at over 14 points a game. She will shoot about 8 threes a game, though, and hits them at a 38% clip, so she's dangerous. Beyond that, they've got some good three-point shooting role players, but none at a high volume. Against a bad opponent at home, Zach, SLU absolutely has to win that game.
I feel like no matter who it is, like Missouri Valley is like the sweet spot for women's basketball. They always put like they always punch above their weight. It's weird.
Yep, they do.
So something to this is Billiken women's team, man. Women's soccer, some news and notes. Jordan Gary has announced her decision to transfer to Illinois State. She played twice as many minutes this season as she did as a freshman. She did switch from forward to defense. Not sure what else the reasoning would be. Maybe just a change of scenery. I don't know. Maybe incoming players. Either way, all totally fair. SLU and Illinois State played to a scoreless draw this season. That was a wild result. Their record has gotten better for 4 straight years. They've done really well. Kate Lewis also announced her decision to transfer. She's headed to Missouri State. She was the number 3 keeper on the roster and didn't play. So I guess that makes sense. But Pete, that is going to do it for us. What a show. What a week.
What a week indeed, Zach. A lot of highs, a lot of lows. Excited to see what happens next with men's soccer and hoping men's basketball gets it back on track.
The Billikens are heading to the Elite Eight. Roll damn Bills.
Roll Bills.